This is Brian's engine. I know that Brian got this engine. I'm not sure if it was handed to him from a family member or if he picked it up somewhere. But my understanding is Brian is very new to the S gauge train experience, and this is where he's starting. And so he sent this to me. Said it didn't run. Um, and before us is a 301, so this would have been from early 1950, uh, probably 52. We'll have to see if there's a stamp in the top of the shell to tell us for sure. But we've got a couple things going on here. First of all, our jack panel has got one of four wires still connected, so that kind of makes it hard for the engine to run. We've also got a broken link coupler at the back. So that's another thing. If the train runs, it's a little hard to carry anything or pull anything if your coupler's busted. Other than that, I don't see anything obvious other than the train needs a clean. Lots of dust. Probably been in storage for a very, very long time. Looks like we got some critters that were living in here. So anyhow, we'll do some digging and figure out what's going on with this guy, and I will bring you back as there are any updates. But the 301 typically did not have the choo-choo or smoke, so I apologize. Had the choo-choo, but no smoke. So that's always something that's kind of fascinating about these. Also, what's fascinating about this one is I see the cam gear, but I don't see the choo-choo box. So that's fascinating. Someone must have taken that off for some reason. Hey Brian, bit of an update for you. It looks like quite a disaster, but that's just part of the process. So I've removed your tender wheels and I've got those polished up. I've been working on the underside of your tender. You see I've got the pickups nice and polished and cleaned. I've done a little bit on the underside of the tender. I have more to do there. I've removed some rust, that kind of stuff. Haven't done the top deck yet, but I have replaced your fingers with new fingers. I also am going to give you a new wire harness because the one you have is unfortunately shot. So I need to replace that. But the other thing that's, I think, almost a bit ironic is I have a section of real railroad rail. Now this is very lightweight, so if I were to hazard a guess, I would say this could be from the 1880s or something like that. Um, but I use this a lot when I need a hard surface. So what I'm going to be using this for here is replacing your busted off link coupler back here because I need a place that I can pound the old one out and pound the new one in and seat it. So I thought you might find that kind of fascinating. And I'll see if maybe I can set this up so you can kind of watch that if you're curious too. So here is going to be the new link coupler I installed, and this is one that was removed from something flyer, who knows by whom and who knows by when. Your tender and engine were made, like I said, early 50s, and so what I'm looking for is a black weight, because that would be period correct. And what will happen is I'm going to push this pin down through and out, and then I'll insert this and push the pin back up and then reseat it, assuming the pin will have enough material left on there for that to happen. If not, I'll have to get a different pin. But the way that works is you can see there's this little collar here. I'm going to zoom in for you. So that collar there is basically part of the pin, and it gets flattened out and creates a seal that then keeps the pin in place. And so you can reuse pins, although sometimes there's not enough material. Once you kind of break that seal and push them down through, there may not be enough material to flatten and get it to tighten up a second time. So that's why I have lots of pins. But first of all, I will try yours and we'll see what happens. But I thought you might find this interesting. I'll go ahead and zoom back out and we'll try to tackle this guy and see how I do. It's always a little bit hard to do this when you've got camera rolling because it's kind of in the way. There's a little bit of the coupler left, so I'm going to see if that's enough to get me what I need to do here to knock this loose, but it may not be. Yeah, I was afraid of that. All right, so I'm going to have to go off camera because this is going to take 2 hands, but I'll bring you back when I go to reinstall the new one. Okay, so off camera, I did a couple things. One is I straightened up this receptacle. These tend to get kind of bent up, and I'll still need to do a little bit more adjusting once it's back together. I also took the pin and polished that up a little bit because clean surfaces mean that the link coupler is going to be floppy, which we want a floppy link coupler. We want this guy to just kind of move like that, because when they do, then they work really well. When they get in a situation where they've been neglected for a long time and they don't want to just flop down, that's when the cars come uncoupled and you get frustrated and you think, why? So anyhow, by doing this step, we'll avoid that for you. So, all right, so now we're ready to reassemble. So I'm going to put my little block here underneath. Actually, I'm going to go spin it around because we want the back of this pin and coupler to be supported. And we're going to go ahead and slide this down. This is a little steel block that I did some drilling to at work so that I could use it for installing these couplers. Okay, so now what I'm seeing is this pin doesn't want to necessarily go down through that opening. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage it with, again, this is another little tool I made. It's just got a little bit of a wide opening, and I'm going to see if I can encourage that receptacle down and around our pin by some gentle taps. Okay, there we go. So now you can see we've got our pin has gone down through the opening. Now I'm going to switch ends. So the other end of my little device here has a smaller end, and it's going to come into contact with that extra material that's at the base of that pin. Well, before I start to flatten that out, let me verify that we've got a good seat on all sides. Yep, okay. Sometimes these are a little crooked, and when that happens, then you get trouble. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to reflatten that extra material at the base of the pin, and we'll just see if we've got a good connection. So I start to wiggle this thing because I don't want it to come loose on you. So that it's moving real nice and free. I don't pick up any signs that it's going to fall out. That's why I'm being kind of aggressive here and just manhandling this guy. But there we go. So just that simple, we've got ourselves back up and running with a period correct link coupler. Hope you enjoyed that. Hey, Brian, wanted to bring you back for a little bit of an update here. I've got your new wire harness all hooked up. Isn't that pretty? I do color coordinating, little bits of shrink tubing, just, in case down the road somebody needs to do some troubleshooting. It's going to be a lot easier than just a mess of black wires. So that's one thing I do. As we already discussed, we got your new replacement link coupler on there, and everything underneath has been cleaned and polished and lubricated. And so tender frame is ready to roll. And I'll go ahead and just test the reverse unit here. We'll see how well that does for us. What we're looking for is it cycling. I've got the transformer at about 50%. Okay, and I'm going to take it down to 30% or so, 25. Okay, that's good. I'll take it down to about 15. Okay, that's, if we can get the reverse unit to move at lower voltage, then that means good things are going to happen when you want to reverse the direction of your train. Hey Brian, I just got off the phone with you and wanted to kind of show you some things here. Here is the choo-choo only unit I have. Um, I I found one smoke unit, but unfortunately I need that for another project. So I apologize. I have this, which is the choo-choo only. So I that I'm yeah, that is what it is. With what you're missing the arm for the piston. You're missing the piston plunger and the pin, and then there's a screw that goes on the other side of here. So I will include those for you. The other thing I noticed when I was cleaning your shell a little bit is the whistle bracket is broken. I happen to have a couple of these little guys. They are a metal whistle, and it goes in. Ah, shucks. Goes in like so. Well, anyhow, now it's not going to want to stay. Um, what I can do for you, that's what they look like. Although you're seeing the part that should be inside the shell back here. I could epoxy that and then paint it black for you, so that'll just kind of disappear, so that your engine shell is complete. And your bell up here is really oxidized. I'll clean that up so it's shiny for you. But I'm assuming those are two little things that you'd like to have, a little bit of bling on the engine, but that's how they came from the factory. Couple other things. I've just started to take apart the motor to inspect and clean all this. And what I see here are some really long brushes and some really good springs. Couple that with the fact that the commutator face here has got very little wear on it, and I think that this engine has very little wear on it. What's puzzling to me is I don't know why someone removed the choo-choo unit from this. That's really strange, because I would have had to have gone inside and removed it and tossed it for some reason. I don't know why. Other than maybe someone got annoyed with the sound. I guess that could be why. But always interesting to try to figure out what's going through people's minds when they did things. And that's not much, but I've got that so far. The other thing I'd mention here is the wrap on your armature is of the blue enamel, and that's a Korean wartime deal. So that again puts it at around the 42 mark. I'm going to take that bell or whistle off so I don't lose it. There is unfortunately no stamp inside the shell, and so we can't absolutely confirm that, but the details are pointing towards about 52, which also makes sense according to resources I have on when the 301 was produced. So, all right, time to keep going with your motor. I'm going to go ahead and spin this on the lathe and see if it's got any wobbles to it or not. And if it does, I'll fix that for you. If not, then great. All right, I'll be back shortly. So just a quick update here on your armature. When I put it on the lathe, I found that some of these plates were not concentric, so I just dressed those up for you. So now when it spins, it won't have the side-to-side wobble. And I cleaned up or faced the commutator surface, so that'll give you a nice flat place for your brushes to sit, and that's going to help the motor run a lot more smoothly for you, and should last a lot longer. Won't be lateral wear. And so, and I checked the ohm reading on the armature as well as your field, and everything's in factory specs. So you're in good shape there. All right, back to it. Hey Brian, here is a quick update for you on the status of your engine. So there you have it, running like a champ right now. So I'm gonna keep plugging away. Updates to follow. Hey Brian, the light happened to catch the inside of the shell just right, and I can see where they did stamp it, but it's rubbed off. So this says 1953. So there you go. That's the official birth date of your engine. Hey Brian, here we go. Got your engine all done up here. A couple things of note. You can see on the top here we got a whistle that's still got a little bit of gray JB Weld there curing. I will cover that with black paint when it's done. But as we talked about earlier, I put a new wire harness in for you. I put new reverse fingers in the reverse unit. There's a new link coupler on the back. Of course, cleaned and polished all the way around. Put an LED headlight in for you. Added a choo-choo, which was missing. And let's take a look at what we get here. Reverse unit works very nicely. Now, one other thing that I thought was really cool, I'm going to see if I can point this out or not. You have a little bit of the shell that was never cleaned up from the factory. And that's really, really cool. Let's see if I can zoom in here for you. See there at the top of the steps where that little nubbins is coming off? That is from the factory. That's a bit of I don't know what you call it, the sprue, maybe? Anyhow, it's leftover plastic from when they did the molding. And for some reason, it passed all their QC and got out of the factory without being seen. And so I think that's pretty cool. That's the kind of defect that makes your engine really, really rare. So congratulations, that's sweet. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy running and get some passing by shots for you.